All right, Alex, you can get started.
Nick, go ahead.
Lakia, just what was the message from the coaches in the locker room after that one? How do they kind of break down everything that they saw?
Really, we just got to finish, man. We was up, and we got to finish on defense, and then.
Lakia, you're muted.
Okay.
Sorry, I got
Or,
you.
I guess you're not muted, but.
So what's the deal? You can't hear him?
I was trying to say this probably failed.
It's getting to the camera.
Alex, what's the deal? You're not hearing him?
We still can't hear anything on y'all's end.
What's going on?
Audio's the onboard mic. Audio's getting here.
Do you know that setting on here that?
We'll change that. We tested audio and it was fine.
I need some kind of solution here, guys.
Can we just use the onboard mic on the computer?
Yep.
Okay, so what's the deal?
What are you looking at?
What about now?
How about now?
We got you.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. All right, Alex.
All right, Nick, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, Lakia, I was just asking what the message was from the coaching staff in the locker room postgame.
We just got to do a better job of finishing, on offense and defense. We played a real good game, but, good games don't win, so we just got to finish.
How do you go about doing that? What needs to be fixed to make something finish?
I'll say more work in the film room, trusting your plays, trusting your coaching staff and, the system, just playing hard.
Parrish, go ahead.
Lakia, why was number one for them able to get open and zone coverage so often? What was going on there?
Got to give credit to number one. He's a good football player. They seen some holes in our zone defense, and they took advantage of that. So I'm give credit to him, but we just got to do a better job of finishing.
Why do you think
Okay.
Why do you think the holes were there in the zone defense? I mean, what was not working in that type of coverage?
I probably couldn't tell you right now off the top of my head. You have to go and watch film and see, but we just got to do a better job of finishing.
Go to David Johnson.
Hey, Lakia, you guys, I know it still stings with the loss tonight, but you guys are going to find out about a bowl destination in a few hours. Just your thoughts on that.
Whoever we play, we're going to be ready to play them. It's going to be fun to be bowl eligible again. So, that's always fun. But, it's a tough loss tonight. We're just going to have to push to the next one.
Go ahead, Nick.
Lakia, has there been a common thread this year in a couple of the games where y'all struggled to finish defensively, or has everything kind of been one day at a time, different sort of games?
Each game is, is a little different. Every game is not the same, So depending on the team and what our scheme is, certain things happen. But we really do just have to do a better job of finishing.
Anything else for Lakia? All right, thanks, Lakia. You're good to go.
Good. Is this being used?
It is now? Okay, yeah.
Coach Morgan.
All right, Coach Kiffin, if you'll start us off with the opening statement, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, it is a tough one to handle. In Tiger Stadium, playing LSU, defending national champs. Had them on the ropes, obviously, and had them not just on the ropes, ahead, and with the ball, went ahead. So, make 2 first downs. They'd wasted all their timeouts. Make 2 first downs and win the game, and So it's really tough to deal with just because things were aligned so well. We discussed it all week. We haven't played for 3 weeks, and I think you saw that early on. We looked really rusty, especially after the first series on offense. And it's just frustrating these games because, going, all right, hey, we're going to win 4 straight, in 5 and 4, and beat LSU, and, great start to, this turnaround. And we don't finish it. We turn the ball over 6 times, so usually if you turn the ball over 6 and you're -5, you're not even in a discussion about being it, let alone being ahead in the fourth quarter. So, and, without Kenny and Elijah, our 2 most productive players, I think that, you saw that. I think, in the passing game I would have expected, us to have better numbers. That was their weakness. They'd really struggled on defense in the back end, and so it's really a shame because we had them, and you're not going to get many opportunities like that. You're certainly not going to get opportunities where, opt-outs, COVID, and an almost empty stadium in LSU. That ain't going to happen again. So just really frustrated, and so we're not really big on guys played hard, and we played 94 snaps of defense and all that stuff. Don't matter. We've been here too long now for that. We need to win games, and we didn't do that.
Start with Nick.
Lane, you talked about finishing. You've talked about it a lot this season. Is that something that can be taught to players, or do you think that's just kind of something innate?
I don't know. We talk about it, obviously, but you just got to make the plays. We get manage situations better, too. We wasted 2 timeouts in the first half on defense. We wasted 1 at the end there on offense, and, like to pride ourselves that we don't do that, and we did. They were out of timeouts, in the fourth quarter. So, had we not wasted that 1 timeout also, even after all the bad stuff that happened in the last turnover by Matt, we still would have had 1 extra one to stop them. They would have had to punt the ball back to us. So just really frustrated, especially because we did come all the way back, down 16. We go on a 28-6 run, which was awesome. The energy, the sidelines, it was all great. It was all aligned to, be a great story and a great ending to the regular season. And, especially I thought it would have meant a lot to do that without Kenny, and especially without Elijah, just to show guys stepping up. But we didn't finish it.
That drive with about 5.5 to go, kind of reminiscent of the Auburn game, just kind of what went through the coaching staff. What were you guys trying to do with that last drive there?
Yeah, you're right, Nick. Same thing I said. Felt just like the Auburn game, which is frustrated to come back, to take the lead, get the ball back with the lead, and, you don't finish it. We waste a timeout, take a sack, false start. So just not really good-looking football, which, is very frustrating from the head coach.
Parrish Alford.
Lane, you mentioned rust. Is that what you thought was going on with Matt and the interceptions in the first half?
Yeah, I'm not making excuses, but I did feel like that, which I was nervous about, that we hadn't played for so long. Kind of like, I think when we played Vanderbilt, they were in the same situation. I felt like that with them, missed tackles, timing, and also, not making excuses, Elijah not being there, and guys playing new spots. Mingo had to play inside, which, he really hadn't done. So I think Matt will be the first one to tell you he didn't play very well. Competed really hard. He probably was, an example of what our team was. We didn't execute really well, didn't do the right things at times, but, played really hard, competed really hard, tried to win, but, didn't do the other things right.
The running game looked like you had more success with it in the second half. What did you see there?
Well, we'd said, we got to wear these guys down and get the play count up. They were thin, I think Ed said 48 or something scholarship players is all they had, and so sometimes it happens, with tempo. It takes a while to get going, and we did do that and did start to run the ball really well in the second half. I mean, Matt, 158 yards rushing himself. So, and they were, trying to stop the pass game, obviously, with lighter boxes, and you got to run when they do that. you know,
What has Henry Parrish done to kind of elevate himself and get more opportunities down the stretch?
just makes plays when he goes in there, and has always done that in practice. And now we put him in games, makes the first guy miss almost all the time, and made a really good catch on the screen play. So he's got a very bright future here.
All right, we'll go to Courtney.
Lane, just going into this season, obviously more complicated than any coach would probably have in their normal first year, but wrapping up the regular season, how do you kind of summarize your experience?
Well, I think up and down. We started slow in some areas. No spring ball, first-year staff, and then hit a run of playing really well and should have finished that off tonight, with 4 straight wins. So it's been a crazy year, just like not playing in 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden playing down here. So just wish we could have finished on a better note for the players, especially the older guys. And it was there. We had all the chances to do it, and you're not going to get many chances like that. So just really unfortunate, and this one's going to hurt for a while, especially because there's no more regular season games to go play. So figure out where we're going to a bowl game, which is great for our program to be in a bowl game. I think first time in 5 years. So I'm not really positive right now, but I guess there are some positives if you go back and look at the whole season.
Obviously, a bowl game's not going to happen for a couple more weeks. So how do you kind of not let rust affect your team again, trying to get a bowl win this year?
Well, I don't know where we're going in the dates, and some of these bowl games are coming up pretty quick. So it won't. I don't think it'll be it used to be like a month layoff. It's not going to be like that no matter what, because I think the furthest one out would be the second. So we'll just figure out the best plan.
All right, one more question. We'll go to Tyler.
Lane, obviously, Matt Corral had 4 first-half turnovers. What did you tell him in the locker room, if anything?
Well, we talked more throughout, the first half, just about decision-making, and I didn't think we put him in the best situation a few times, like the pick on 3rd down. We didn't have a real good play call versus press across the board, and, it was getting ready to change. Clock was running down, so I don't think we did a great job as a staff today.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep.
You actually use some.
All right, we've got Matt Corral. Please raise your hand if you have a question. We'll start with Parrish.
Matt, Lane talked about rust. How did you feel when you were out there? I mean, what do you see? What were you seeing with the 5 interceptions there in the first half?
I don't think, rust isn't an excuse. We were practicing for 2 weeks straight. That's not an excuse. I was being a little too aggressive, not taking what they give me, throwing the ball blindly to the check down, not being calm in the pocket, just doing things out of the norm that I don't usually do, besides one other game. And I really have the same damn feeling right now. But there's no excuse for that, and I really, like, as a competitor, I take that loss across the chin, because I have the ball in my hands 98% of the time. That is on me.
All right, we'll go to Nick.
Matt, just after a game like this one, what do you tell your teammates?
Got to keep playing. Like I said, being a good competitor and playing your heart out and really loving the game. Next one, we got a bowl game coming up. Learn from it. We don't always like to learn from it, but it is what it is, and that this game's very delicate. 1 week you're up, feeling like you're on top of the world. The next week, getting kicked when you're down. just got to come turn around and keep working.
A couple of these close games this year seem to go this way, where y'all had a chance to put it away late and just couldn't quite finish it off. Is that a trait that you think can be learned, or is that just something that you guys need to find in yourselves?
To finish a game,
Yeah.
that just comes to playing the game. You got to finish the game if you're going to win it. If you let up, you're going to lose.
All right, we'll go to David Johnson.
Hey, Matt, I'll ask, I guess, a rather obvious question, but how much did this offense miss Elijah and Kenny out there tonight?
I mean, there's no excuse. Elijah and Kenny are great players. They had a lot of production for our offense, but it's next man up. We have enough scholarship players to fill in that spot. No one's ever going to take the spot of Elijah Moore. Like, he was a different kind of receiver. But we still got dudes who could produce. We still got dudes who can win the route. We still got dudes who could flat out play. And I think it's just them getting comfortable with getting their feet wet and having some playing time, because the guys behind them really didn't get a lot of playing time because of Elijah being there, and then all of a sudden they're playing up to 60 snaps one game just because one guy opted out. And I think as a season, as we start working together later on, I think they're going to get more comfortable, and people are really going to realize what type of talent we have.
All right, we'll go back to Parrish.
Hey, Matt, I know at Arkansas, Lane said he was going to stick with you. He never took you out of the game. Did y'all have a conversation like that today? Were you close to being subbed for at any point?
Never said a thing about me getting subbed.
Anything else for Matt? All right, thanks, Matt.
Thank you.